What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Slab Stock Sundays episode, number 104 here. No, 103, excuse me, on the PWCC Weekly Auction. My name is Aaron, joined by Julian. Julian, you're not even in the United States right now.
Nah, Slab Stocks is global. I'm in a hotel in India, 8:20 a.m. But I wouldn't miss this, so gotta get some PWCC action. But we have the coast to coast cards. Now we're I don't know, across the globe cards.
You're telling me that you're up at 8:20 a.m. doing that? That's dedication, everyone, for the Slab Stock Sundays fam. Julian is not known
Yeah.
for an early riser, so that's not quite the Aaron 3 a.m. special in London, but it's pretty good for Julian, all things considered. It's probably the same thing, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
But great day here because the Packers officially have made the playoffs. We have went through a 17-week regular season. This is week 18. And Jordan Love has left his stamp on the NFL. I haven't seen Jim Baker around for about 5 weeks now. Maybe he pops in tonight. Jordan Love has been the best quarterback in the NFL since I think it was like week 12 or something. He's had the top QBR and the most passing touchdowns. He had 2 more today. I think it's 20 touchdowns in the second half of the season. I think it's like a 77 QBR or something like that. Just unbelievable season for him. I'm psyched to be a Packer fan today. And we're going to Dallas to play. I'm not going to Dallas, but Packers going to Dallas. And we've had some good memories in AT&T Stadium, both in the regular season and in the postseason. And I'm hoping that Jordan Love can keep that thing going. And man, Bears, I'm sorry if you're a Bears fan. We've won 10 straight games against you now. I can't remember any other team that's lost that many straight games to someone, but it's been a good day. Good day to be a Packer fan. I'm pumped.
Like Aaron Rodgers says, it doesn't really seem like much of a rivalry anymore.
I mean, I know it's like the longest standing matchup in the NFL. Most games played, yet one team has not won for a little bit now. But there's a lot going on in the NFL, as you can see. Which NFL cards are primed for a playoff push is the title of the stream, because around the league, multiple teams made the playoffs, missed the playoffs. Heartbreak for some teams like the Colts. Julian, I don't know if you're able to see. I know you're kind of all over the map right now in India with the timing, but did you see how they lost yesterday?
I did, and I'm still confused as to why they had their third string running back out on that play. But yeah, unfortunate way to lose for the Colts. But Texans, what a season!
What a season indeed. I mean, come on, CJ Stroud, like we talked about him since probably the start of the season here with his Panini Instant Rookie Auto Black 1/1. It did like 3K or something like that at the start of the season. I normally don't try to take too much credit for stuff, but I did say that was one of my top buys in that episode when we were talking about the different cards. And I just thought, he doesn't have many autograph options at all. And, short term could be huge if he has a great season and end up having a massive Rookie of the Year season. Yeah, man, Michael Pittman's so good. He's got to be in the playoffs one of these years. If Anthony Richardson didn't go down, I'd imagine that they might have been a playoff team. Texans and Browns up next. Do you mean that are they playing each other? Is that the solidified matchup? I haven't been able to keep up with the full solidified matchups other than the Packers, but I think that might be who they got. But yeah, just a lot going on in the NFL, and we'll talk about here on the show. Julian, anything on the top of your mind card wise? Or yeah, Browns and Texans. I see it right here. That's a imagine that matchup, right? From a year ago, and no Deshaun Watson either.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to believe where the Texans were a year ago and how far they've come. But shout out, I think his name's D'Amico Ryan. I don't want to
Yeah,
mispronounce it.
D'Amico Ryan's the coach.
Former 49ers coach. The 49ers assistants are taking over the league. I don't want to take credit for it, but yeah, I'm happy. See, I usually, as you know, with Justin Fields, I have not been impressed by Ohio State quarterbacks in the NFL for quite some time now. But CJ Stroud does have something special, and he has some passion for that organization. So I am happy for that team. And yeah, what a turnaround.
Funny enough, CJ Stroud and Jordan Love's games this week, like just numbers wise, were almost dead even, other than Love had more passing yards, but 2 touchdowns, nearly the same QBR and passer ratings, only like 5 incompletions each. The two of them operate the pocket so well for young quarterbacks. Obviously, CJ Stroud younger than Love is set for 3 years behind Aaron Rodgers. So I admit, like, what Stroud's doing is insanely impressive. as a first year starter in Houston with a team that was not good at all. At least we know the Packers have had a formidable team for the last few years, even if we missed the playoffs last year. And yeah, Ritter got the start today, and they got blown out 48-17. A little running up of the score at the end there, thanks to Jameis Winston handing it off on a victory formation knee play. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I did see that, and I saw Arthur Smith is his name. He was not happy, but at the same time, it's like it's a professional league. You can't get that upset over something like that. Your team sucks. Like you should be taking that accountable, not getting all upset. Now I understand there's the respect aspect, but like you suck.
The one thing I can concede to in that situation is I could see Arthur Smith being like, yo, you guys were set up in the victory formation. My guys literally were standing there, not ready to play it down, as you never play that down, full on. And if you go low on a block on that play, get a touchdown, someone can get hurt. Like I could see you being upset about that. But at the same time, it kind of sounds like the players went rogue. The coach said after the game that, I mean, honestly, that's not great having players going rogue on you anyways. Like, I don't know, man. That's a really weird situation.
The most Jameis Winston play I've ever seen. They're like, victory formation. Jameis like, yo, guys, what are we thinking? Vote. Let's take a vote.
It was definitely a vote in the huddle. I think that's just hilarious. All right, but we do have TB Incognito pointing out nice Ginter Stroud auto in the auction tonight. So TB Incognito, I don't know if this is your card or not, but this is a nice Ginter auto. Now, normally, Ginter autos of NFL quarterbacks rarely would get talked about at all because they have Prism autos, Optic autos, National Treasures, Contenders most notably. But you're talking about a card here of a guy that doesn't have any new autos coming out in Panini products with Texans gear. And while he isn't featured in Texans gear here, I will tell you, just based on the sale of the one today, now that they made the playoffs, this is a great deal right now. You're talking anywhere between $350 to upwards of $500. Now a card for this on-card auto of Stroud, mini framed auto. It's a 1010 SGC slab pop one. Looks spectacular in my mind. So I mean, I think someone's going to chase that thing hard tonight. I could see the Texans pulling off an upset on the Browns, given that. I feel like that the Browns are kind of running on some like fool's gold magic with Joe Flacco right now. I'm not trying to be a hater, but like, how long can it last before it kind of runs out with Joe Flacco like coming back from who knows, sitting on the couch? Like I'm not trying to put him down. I'm just making a joke. But I could see the Texans maybe pulling off an upset, and given that Stroud doesn't have that high a volume of cards, especially autographs, he's got the Prism rookies now, and I don't know if you've seen the sales, man. Base rookies, $40, silvers, $300 plus, blue ices, $2,200 for CJ Stroud. I could see this type of card being highly sought after, but at the same time, if they get eliminated and it's kind of like, okay, all the newer releases are going to come out, and while it is an auto, everyone would rather have the non-autos in the Texans jersey. You never know. So it's a risk, but it could be a reward too. Cool card.
Yeah, and for me, from a fan perspective, I'd be happy with either team advancing just because Joe Flacco, that story is hilarious. And, you feel good with that. And then also on the Texans side, I mean, they, like we just talked about how bad they were. And I'd be fine with either team advancing. But speaking of NFL, I just wanted to throw something out there. Is there a team you would rather play than the Eagles right now?
No,
they are absolutely falling. I think it's like they've lost 5 of their last 6. Like, I feel like I would want to play them if I was any team.
And even worse than losing 5 of the last 6 is that they're going to the playoffs with injuries to Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. DeAndre Swift missed the game today with injury, and Jalen Hurts dislocated his throwing finger today, his middle throwing finger. So I think that the Eagles have always been the making of a potential first-round exit. But now I would be absolutely shocked if they end up winning in Tampa Bay. And that's where they're going to play, I believe. If they're going to Tampa Bay to play, I'd be shocked if they not sure your thoughts on I don't know if you knew that they're playing the Buccaneers or not, but
I just look quickly. I mean, I'd be very worried if I was an Eagles fan just because of the end of the season is where you want to be the strongest. I'd say like the Eagles obviously aren't on this level, but what was it, the Steelers 2 or 3 years ago where they were like undefeated, like 11-0, and then fell off towards the end of the season? Like, you do not want that momentum going into the playoffs. So I'm not expecting much out of that team.
You mean that lack thereof momentum?
Yeah. Momentum in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Yes, the sinking momentum. Um, Changing gears quick to another NFC team, it was the longest time. It was who's going to get the number one seed, the 49ers or the Eagles. Eagles exposed themselves. The Cowboys won enough games to become the NFC East division winners, but not to get the number one seed. You got the Niners flying in as I'd say the second or first favorites to win the Super Bowl. I think that you'll definitely have a group of people picking the Ravens at this point, given that the Niners lost to the Ravens. Is it possible that Purdy has went from maybe a slightly I'm not saying this like that's true. Maybe slightly a little overrated when he got like MVP, like number one MVP for sure, to now underrated. Like I feel like everyone now hates on Purdy. That's all it is. It's hate on Purdy because they have McCaffrey, Samuel, Kittle. Like we know that Garoppolo didn't put up these numbers with the Niners. We know that Trey Lance, while his career was extremely short with the Niners, it didn't look like he was going to do this, at least in that first game, which was raining, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the Niners guy, so you tell me what you think of him right now.
I mean, I'm so high on them. They're so fun to watch. I mean, we have so many offensive weapons, but the Purdy hate is unreal. People are finding excuses left, right, and center for him, and they're like, all he does is check downs and slants. I'm like, I think he has the most 50+ yard touchdowns in the league. If you actually watch a full 49ers game, like he makes throws that are not hard. If you have any success in the league,
you mean they're not easy?
What did I say?
You said they're not hard.
Yeah, not easy to make.
Like you're contradicting yourself.
Yeah, not easy to make, and I just can't. People find ways to hit on anybody right now, and if you're a successful quarterback, it's because you're good at what you do. There's no way you can be good in this league without being a good quarterback. And unlike college, I think the NFL shows that through real quick. And I mean, he's silencing the haters, in my opinion, but they can keep talking.
Now, Sam Darnold did have 190 yards and a touchdown today in like one half or something like that. But yeah, Peg Jung even says he lives near San Fran and sports talk radio is so flip-floppy on the guy. I think that that's just the nature of being the last pick in the NFL draft. Someone who maybe people just like I was talking about Joe Flacco thought was kind of like running on some magic or luck that eventually was going to run out, and everyone's expecting it to run out. But honestly, like the Ravens game, I've seen Jordan Love have terrible games. That doesn't mean Love's a terrible quarterback, as we know he just had an amazing 9-week stretch. Every quarterback has got a bad game at some point. We've seen Patrick Mahomes have bad games this year. So I'm a Purdy fan, especially I think because of the hate now. It's like, dude, just like doing his thing, like last pick in the draft, and we're hating on him for being good. Like, what is this?
Yeah, and also he's just like a super humble guy. Like everyone's hitting on him. He doesn't talk bad about anybody. He credits his teammate with his success. I mean, even as non-Niners fans, I think a lot of people are rooting for him. I think so much of that, if he was a first round pick, everyone would be like, he's so good. But
yeah,
I don't know. They're putting way too much weight on the Mr. Irrelevant, but he is Mr. Relevant.
Yeah, and the only thing that I can say is you can maybe debate whose seasons are more impressive based off of what they have. And I'm just going to sound like a super Packer homer, but let's be honest, Love has got the youngest roster of receivers in the NFL. He's got injuries across the board with his receivers and tight ends and running backs, and he still has had an amazing season. That's not to discount Purdy. I'm just saying that's impressive. And I think that Purdy is equally as impressive. And if you're on a good team, what does it mean? If you're on a good team, you can't be good. You can't be a good player because you have good players around you. That's what good teams are. They got good players around each other. You don't win a Super Bowl unless you have good players, basically top to bottom. So there's no point. If people said that Rodgers wasn't good because he had Jennings and Nelson and a decent run game and a good defense, which Woodson and Matthews and that Super Bowl shouldn't count, or as MVPs after that shouldn't count. That just doesn't make sense. But the difference is Rodgers was a first round pick and was supposed to be that good. Okay, now, yeah, I mean that in real music, that's a whole nother debate, but I think Purdy has done almost as well as you can possibly do other than a bad Ravens game. That's about what it comes down to, I think, in the end. Speaking of the Ravens, there's a huge Ravens card ending in this auction. It's the 2018 National Treasures Gold Lamar Jackson patch autograph with the logo from the Ravens patch, dead in the center middle or top middle. Jersey number 8 out of 10. BG has 8.5. Now, We sent out a newsletter on Saturday, actually, first time that we're doing a different highlights in this PWCC auction with in-depth write-ups. And this was the first card that we covered in the email, actually. It was this Lamar, and I covered the price history. The last sale, like the most recent sale, was a BGS 9, but this was over a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, actually. A BGS 9 of this card sold for 22 grand. Obviously, before Lamar Jackson's now likely second MVP season, and it's not a jersey number either, but it is a BGS 9 versus 8.5. The highest sale of this card ever, this specifically this gold of 10, it was a PSA 10, and a 65K in 2021. And then the lowest sale ever, Julian, get this, you could have bought this card in 2019 for $890 as a PSA 8. 2019, a PSA 8 sold for $890. Definitely a $10,000+ card, even as a PSA 8 at this point. But just what a card here, man. What a card. It's crazy.
Yeah, that card is so sweet. It kind of reminds me of that the one card that SGC we had that was submitted
Yeah.
with us, insane patch. But you want to talk about a guy that everyone has been hating on up until this season. And I mean, the team that he has, it's not on the Jordan Love same level, but heading into the season, what his weapons they were given was an Odell Beckham, where you're like, okay, he's hasn't had a great season in a little bit now. You're taking a flyer on that, could be complete bust. You have Zay Flowers, who's a rookie. Like when you look at it at the start of the season, you're like, they're not really giving him much, and he's turned it into like a fantastic year. Not saying that it worked out with Odell and Zay Flowers. Both of them are having a fantastic year, but it all starts with Lamar Jackson. And I, for one, have been very impressed. Didn't like that he absolutely smacked us, but yeah, I think I think he's gonna win the MVP. I think Christian McCaffrey should at least finish second. But I've been so impressed with the guy, and I don't think anyone in the league has gotten as much hate as him for not being a quarterback, like a true quarterback.
Yeah. So after his rookie season, which his rookie season only started half the games, got into the playoffs with them. I think they pretty much flopped in the first round, but he's rookie. He hasn't had a year that he's thrown under 62% other than last year. Well, last year he's threw 62.3% completion, but he also was hurt last year. 67% completion this year is his career high. He's got career high in yards at 3,700. He's got 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. His passer rating is 103, 102.7. That's a great passer rating for a guy that's that good at running the football too. And people that would call him a running back, I mean, you don't have a 102.7 passer rating in a full season if you're a running back. That doesn't happen. Like he's amazing. I'm so happy he's doing well because I agree with you. Like the hate for him was ridiculous. And shoot, I'm sure the Ravens love that they got him on the extension. I'm pretty sure that all other teams balked at him that could have possibly signed him. But I'm sure that the Ravens are happy he's there. He's happy he's there. I kind of forgot about that entire contract thing in the first place. It's kind of a weird time, really.
Yeah. For sure,
yeah.
for sure. And you kind of mentioned it. I was like looking this past summer about if any other teams are gonna come and snag him, because there were rumors about him potentially like going to the Jets, maybe the Dolphins. But I do think a lot of the teams were like, we're not gonna pay that much. So he bet on himself. The Ravens went all in on him, and it's obviously paying off, and they're, I'd say, the Super Bowl favorites.
Yeah, definitely helps when you got that good defense. I can only hope that Love can get some type of defense like that. So he did get 52 million, which is I think the top in the NFL now, unless Herbert probably broke that with his extension. He was the most recent extension after Burrow. What's up, Ziggy? How you doing? Glad to see everyone here in 2024. This is officially our first 2024 episode, by the way. We did one on New Year's Eve last week, but welcome everyone to the Slapsack Sundays in 2024. Interesting enough. Okay, I understand that there's a grading difference here, right? There's a grading difference between having a 9.5 and an NTRPA. I'm sure people are very much so locked in on. This is numbered out of 10, gold of Tua, 8750. Now, the auction's not done yet. Obviously, the auction's still going on, saying these things can end up very differently. But it's the same price right now. The Lamar Jackson logo patch from 2018, it's an 8.5, is the same price as the Tua, and the Lamar's a jersey number 2 for collectors that love that. I don't know about everyone, but let me know in the chat. Would you rather have this Lamar Jackson 8.5 or the Tua? Because right now they're the exact same bids. They could end differently. The Tua is a 9.5, way worse patch, and Tua versus Lamar. I'd rather have Lamar. Julian, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's not even close for me. I'd take that Lamar any day of the week. It's one of those things where I can't explain it why it'd be that much outside of it's like out of 10, but that patch is just not really impressive. Like if you're gonna buy a card like that, just get the out of the 99 just because like the patches is very similar. But Lamar Jackson is not just Tua is a very good player, but that Lamar Jackson card is sick, and I'd go in on Lamar Jackson probably. Which
Yeah,
is weird with his card prices because even though he's an MVP favorite, I still feel like a lot of his cards are undervalued, which is
I
still
think
very shocking to me.
he's definitely got the undervaluedness to him, but I think that everyone's waiting for the playoffs and can he get them to the Super Bowl? I think it's a big step for a quarterback to do that. And if we see that happen, I think that his cards will increase a lot. And we'll see if they can make it out of the AFC. Now, I just did some quick stat checking here. So, everyone discounts Purdy and all of his weapons and this and that and his team. And I know that the Dolphins aren't the Niners, but Purdy's got a 113 passer rating in the year. I think it's the top of the NFL. Same with his QBR, top of the NFL. You look at Tua. I mean, Tua has he's got a 103, just barely better than Lamar. But I mean, he's got Tyreek Hill, the best wide receiver in the NFL. Jalen Waddle, who's had a okay season, good at times. He's injured now. He's got one of the best running games in the NFL. Like, if we're talking discounts for Purdy for his weapons and his team, I mean, Tua's got some insane weapons. And Tua's had a great season too. And that's why I'm saying let's not discount anyone because of their weapons. Great players have got great tandems. Would we ever say Tom Brady stinks because he had Randy Moss on the vertical route every single time back then, for all his touchdowns? I just think it's silly.
Hate him because you ain't him.
Exactly. Diverting from the NFL for a second, if there's any baseball fans in the house, this is a really interesting card here. This is the Aaron Judge 2013 Leaf Metal Draft Super Prismatic. We're calling this a super prismatic is the Leaf terminology for basically what is a top superfractor. Except it looks not as good, in my opinion. But it's at $7,500 right now. So this is the year that his first Bowman Chrome card released. I don't know if anyone has any thoughts on the whole Leaf situation here. Would you ever consider spending $10,000 on a Leaf card, or is it Bowman or bust, or even tops rookies for Judge? But I mean, honestly, you could, if I were to filter by $8,000 to $12,000 cards for his Bowman Chrome autographs, you could probably get a pretty darn good Aaron Judge 2013. Oh, let Julian go at that one. Well, you could literally get an Aaron Judge purple out of 10, $9,000 right there. Blue Wave out of 50 did, and that was back in April. Did 9,000 as well. Julian, you got to take that question from Vinny there.
Vinny asking, okay, Aaron, Johan Bakayoko, how good is he? Vinny, have been very impressed with him. I think it's just imminent that he's going to make a big move. I know Liverpool were interested in him. Who knows? Maybe this summer we'll see him move in. But he's explosive. He's on that PSV team. I've been very impressed by him, and I actually picked up a couple of his cards, and I was shocked at how many people were actually interested in buying his cards. I was gonna originally just buy them and hold them until there was a move, but I was able to sell a few of them because people are seeing the potential there. But I have been very impressed with him.
Nice. Good stuff.
I mean, Manchester United is also rumored with everybody, Vinny. So take that with a grain of salt. I think we were rumored with Lionel Messi at one point. So
and Timo Werner, who's now on loan to the Spurs or the Spurs.
Yeah, yeah. I just hope Timo Werner absolutely pops off because, yeah, he gets a lot of hate for his Chelsea.
He's fast as heck, dude. He's got some crazy pace. Back to NFL here. So Trevor Lawrence. I know he played through a lot of injuries at the end of the season. He played through a lot of injuries.
Aaron's stealing my Hoobie buying card, but keep going.
Okay. We'll wait. I don't want to take it up because we got.
There you go. We gotta. Yeah.
Never mind. Trevor Lawrence. We'll get past them for now. We'll bring him up later. Patrick Mahomes is definitely in an interesting situation to go to the playoffs. We don't need to talk about the Chiefs. They're honestly kind of boring to me. But I think this, outside my personal fandom, Packers-Cowboys favorite playoff matchup, Lions and Rams, dude. You got the battle of the trade. You got Jared Goff going to the Lions. You got Stafford going to the Rams, winning the Super Bowl there. Goff helping them win the division for the first time since 1993 or whatever it was. And you got the Stafford NFL equipment logo patch autograph, one of one rookie from Absolute. A pretty popular brand actually back in the day. PSA 9 here is at $3,100. I think that's going to be an electric matchup. I think you're going to have two players playing for something, maybe Stafford a little bit less than the Rams because Stafford's got his Super Bowl. He's a little bit older. Like Goff, I think is going to like want to show him like, hey guys, like while you did win a Super Bowl, it's like, I can still beat you guys. And I'm excited for that one as just a football fan to watch. I think it's been a fun matchup and a lot of storylines behind that.
Yeah, and I don't know you as a Packers fan if you're actually going to end up rooting for the Lions or if any Packers fans can root for Lions, but I am personally rooting for them because they kind of threw him away like he was nothing and proving them wrong, which I always could get behind that. There's even like the Lions just seemed like initially with that trade, it was like, okay, it's just going to be for a year and then we're going to draft someone, but he stuck around and he's played fantastic on that team. And the Lions are another feel-good story with Dan Campbell, and he's come in and turned that franchise around, and there's just so much passion in that organization. So I kind of want Jared Goff to just absolutely smack the Rams.
Yeah, when it comes to NFC North division opponents, like hate the Vikings. I got so many Vikings friends that just would rather see the Packers lose than the Vikings win, it feels like. Bears we've been beating the heck out of them for the last 10 games, so I'm okay with it. But like the Lions are the team where I'm like, they've been so bad compared to every team in the North for the last like 25 years. Like, let them have their shine. And I like what Dan Campbell is doing there because I think that like someone who can switch a losing culture so fast into what they're doing now it's cool. It's cool to see. I'm not saying that I want to see them win the Super Bowl or want to see them. Obviously, that I hope that we beat them if we beat them. But it's not as bad to watch as, oh my gosh, the Bears are actually like making a run or the Vikings are making a run. That's a different story. Real Music does bring up a very interesting point here. Kirk Cousins one of one price is cheap. Now, I believe they do have Black Mosaic one of one rookies from this first Prism football set back in 2012, but this is the orange pylon, which is a really weird parallel. It's like fluorescent orange in the middle with like a weird like silver going down, outlines of the fluorescent orange. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, for those of you that have been around for a while, I can't get the zoom right. For those of you that have been around for a while, I believe that these were sold on auction as encased cards from Panini. I don't think these were pack pulled. And that's how they sold the 2014. Julian, have you ever seen the 2014 Prism World Cup soccer? It's like the green and yellow, like Mojo. That's like a one of one, but you're like, I've never seen that pulled out of a pack before type of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
They were sold the exact same way. So they were both sold on auction before Panini was selling auctions on their websites and on their own website, like they do now with some cards, or a lot of cards, I guess, for that matter. And yeah, it's just a really interesting card to where you're like, wow, one of one rookie of Kirk Cousins, who honestly has been very impressive in his career for where he was. Unfortunately, beat the Badgers at Michigan State. But if you look up Kirk Cousins, what was he, a 5th round pick or something like that? Let's see. Let me get this really quick. 4th round pick. I mean, to have this long of a career, put that many 4,000-yard years, have some really good records with the Vikings, it's a really good career. I honestly think of the amount of players and rookies that are just heavily gambled on now, you can go down the list of Kenny Pickett to Justin Fields, yada, 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 just keep on going down the list. Any of them who's buying the cards, those guys could only hope that they have a career even close to what Kirk Cousins is. And this is where it ends up at. Now, obviously, Cousins hasn't won a Super Bowl, hasn't made a NFC Championship game. But I mean, come on, not many quarterbacks that are coming out now are dropping like 8 4,000-yard years with multiple 30+ touchdown years, under 10 interceptions. Like, is that an impressive career? As a Packer fan, I can admit it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of backward logic, as we've seen with many cards in the market that he's had like a career that most people aspire to have, and that something like that is kind of cheap. But then you've got like the players you just mentioned. That the end goal is for them to reach the Kirk Cousins level, maybe like win a Super Bowl. That'd be great. Maybe like the accolades a little bit higher, but yeah, it's backwards for sure.
And in the end, like the one of one options back in 2012 are like extremely limited. Like you'll find one of ones, maybe like one at most two in a single set, but there weren't even that many sets. And Topps and Panini were both making cards then, but he didn't really have that many notable Topps cards really at the time. His contenders and his Prism were really the two most sought after things, even at the time, with Topps having really good football card production. So just a really interesting story and thought to be had about if you are gambling on quarterbacks, they have some good games. Like people are selling them versus holding them for, however long it might be. All right. Well, I think that's going to be our football coverage for now. Julian, let's divert to you for some Who We Buying. It's been a little bit, but we're bringing Who We Buying back in 2024. So let's hear it.
Who we buying India edition? All right, we'll start with the Trevor Lawrence because you already pulled that one up. Yeah, I mean, you started getting into it, and I'm sure you've got some points, but
Yeah, you go ahead.
I think myself and a lot of people were not really convinced by Trevor Lawrence. He had that really good season last year, but he's kind of been a turnover machine this year. I think he's had 4 or 5 games with at least 2 interceptions. That Jaguars team has a lot of potential, and he just doesn't seem this year just didn't seem to be fitting. So, um, there's still time left, and $6,000 pre-buyer's premium for a Trevor Lawrence card. I'm not convinced. I wouldn't spend this type of money on Trevor Lawrence. I think there's a lot of questions up in the air about Trevor Lawrence, and I'm shocked that there are cards like this that are still going for this much money. He's got a lot to live up to, and it'll be interesting next year for sure because I know Doug Peterson will probably not stick around for 2 years with this guy if he cannot put up success with the team or get wins.
Yeah. And I mean, when you really look at it, like this cracked ice auto isn't even the real Contenders cracked ice auto. It's a Contenders optic card, which I've always been a little bit lower on as being someone who's collected for the last 15 years. It's like this to me is just like it's not fake, but like a fake version of the Contenders cracked ice auto of Trevor Lawrence. Like the actual Contender said, this is an additional subset that, and I understand that you've got different things in Topps, like Topps and Topps Chrome, Bowman, whatever. Like you can kind of break it down whichever way you want. But the fact of the matter is that this is just a little bit different looking card where like, yeah, maybe it's worth money, but like when you're talking like upwards of $7,000 to $8,000 for that, that's a different story. And you're right. I mean, 3,700 yards. He's played 15 games this year, including today. I think that might have hit 16. He only missed one, which was last week. So, and he didn't really have that great of a game today, but 19 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He had an 89.1 passer rating, which is nothing to, kind of go crazy over. And in the end, in cards, a lot of years, the make or break year, especially after they have one good year, is the year that follows the good year. Like Jordan Love's year next year for his cards specifically, not his NFL career, but like the good value that is in his cards will be next year. It'll be the year after he had his big breakout, which he definitely had this year. But we could lose to the Cowboys next round, and I don't think much will happen to Jordan Love's cards. I mean, we weren't even supposed to make the playoffs. But if next year he comes out and he doesn't at least replicate what he's doing this year, it's going to be a Trevor Lawrence situation. And I think that next year, if Lawrence has another year similar to this year, like this thing will easily be cut in half. I mean, and
Yeah,
remember, Lawrence was supposed to be the next Andrew Luck. And Luck, while retired early, he was putting up mad numbers and bringing the Colts, from a terrible spot, which the Jaguars are not in a great spot either, to being relevant. I mean,
yeah,
dude,
I mean, you go ahead. I have something to say, but
last thing, Luck in his third year, 4,700 yards, 40 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. That guy was on the path to being the next, literally like the next Peyton Manning type of thing. I don't know if, and then he had obviously a horrible neck injury in 2015, and then his career, he had one good year after that, and then he decided to, pretty much call it quit after that neck, the other injury. I guess he had 2 injuries in there. Maybe his ACL in the 2015 and the neck in 2017. But either way, I mean, yeah, I don't see what Andrew Luck was doing like in what Trevor Lawrence is doing. That's just me.
Yeah, and the point I want to drive home is you have to think about it from the market perspective because we know for a fact the time to buy cards for guys that don't make the playoffs or even guys that do make the playoffs is in the offseason. So why would you spend this amount of money for a guy that you know isn't going to be playing and like you'll be able to pick it up down the line? It just doesn't make sense to me because we all know how much cards drop in the offseason for guys like him, and now is not the time to pick up a Trevor Lawrence card.
Yeah, I would say like you've got yourself the nice 3 to 4 months to watch in his market and see. Now maybe people think, oh, not that many people are looking today when he's eliminated. And honestly, a lot of the context for this card and the price might even come down to what was this card worth in the first place? Like what was this at Lawrence's, like, you know, when they came back last year and won? I'm gonna even just do a quick spot check to see. I mean, I can tell you it sold over the summer for it looks like nearly $17,000, which is also crazy. So I guess in the end, this could be a lot of I'm gonna buy the drop in the price because it looks like a good price compared to what it was. But remember, Kyler Murray's an example of it might not matter what it once was because it can go lower. Or Daniel Jones is another huge example of that too. Kardak says, I'm the high bidder. Well, if you do end up winning this, at least you can sit and know that you are getting this for a deal compared to what they have done in the past. It just comes down to, can Trevor Lawrence get back on that trajectory of being next great NFL quarterback versus being a run of the okay, JK. Either way, my point still remains. You know, I'm not saying he's a run of the mill quarterback, but we'll see.
Yeah, and if the high bidder happens to be in here, once again, everything we say is just our opinion. So we've been wrong before. Now this is just what we're saying off of what we've seen. But just
I
preface
would
with that.
I would say that you will see through the NFL playoffs a lot of money shift, excited money into players that are playing well, like if Lamar Jackson gets to the Super Bowl, like if Brock Purdy actually wins the Super Bowl and people are really all in on him. You'll see some of this money shift out of these other players that didn't do as well. And that would then be the time to capitalize on more up for sale, prices dropping. Like that's what I think, you know, that's what Julian's saying. And I agree with it too. Like you might actually still believe in Lawrence to be the next great quarterback, but I would agree that the same point still remains. You'll get better value, you know, come the, you know, next couple months. I don't think Julian's changing up, but the point is, it is good to say that, you know, everything we're saying is our opinions and we can be wrong. It is true.
Yeah, that's my only point. Real music. I still am standing by. I don't think that this would be a good buy, but it's not like a fact. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, if all the money is going to Justin Fields, I hope he's going to a team that has very competent coaching staff and great weapons across the board.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be an interesting way how that plays out. But up next, we'll get another rant here going. We have a Kylian Mbappe 2017 Select Base PSA 10, which is at $270 pre-buyer's premium.
Dude, these used to be extremely expensive. These are hard to hit, honestly. Very hard to hit cards. But go ahead.
Number one, Kylian Mbappe. I think I've said it here before. I would not buy any of his cards, regardless of how good of a player he is. Seems like the saga's happening again, which is probably the fourth or fifth time I've seen this in the news, where it's like he might be leaving PSG. He's not happy. He might be going to Real Madrid. As a soccer player myself, I would never want to play with a player like this, just because like you don't know how committed he is to the team. He's kind of turned into like a little bit of a whiny baby in my opinion. So I wouldn't touch any of his cards, and I've said this before. Now, this card may be hard to hit, but it still seems like way too much money for a base 2017 select, which yeah, I know a lot of people, including myself, I'd rather have a Topps Chrome 2017, but yeah, that's my little rant about Kylian Mbappe. I can't stand the guy.
I do want to reiterate the fact that this card is hard to hit, though, because I think you are estimating that like it is a base, but like it's a pop 154, where the Topps Chrome is a pop 1,226. It's like 10 times more rare, at least for a PSA 10. Like it is extremely hard to hit these cards, even if it does look like a base. But I can see, I guess, if you'd rather have a different one, I'm not blaming you.
Yeah, I guess for the money, I think his stuff is kind of tanked. I wouldn't really necessarily go for this
Yeah.
card.
That's fine. I was just making sure the context is added. Like, for those that don't know, it is rare. Although it doesn't look like that outstanding with the base because he kind of gets drowned out in the card. Drowned out in the card. But yeah, do we have another one?
Yes, we do. We have two more. We'll go with the Ferrari 2020 orange 70th.
Oh,
Which
who
is
be buying on this?
yes. My opinion on this card has changed quite a bit. I even bought a Max Verstappen orange 70th at one point. I don't know. I'm a sucker for numbered stuff. I think with especially the price. I mean, when I was looking at some sales, an orange out of 25 PSA to $1,000 in September. Uh, I just think this price is way too much for something like this. And from my experience as well, it's a lot of Formula One fans are not will not pay a ton of money for 70th just because there is like the straight orange and some of the other cards. I do like how it looks, but I just think that $1,300 pre-buyer's premium is a little outlandish for this card. I'd love the logo cards from that year, but yeah, I was kind of shocked at how high this is.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to assume it's the PSA 10 that is really drawing that card up in price. I don't know how much a raw is of it, but at the same time, it's like I too am like you, and I would rather have a numbered card in a lower grade that is more rare and is gonna have a better chance to hold value, likely. All right, go back to Andrew's comment though. We got Andrew Slapsacks FC hosting the house here. He's talking about Ronaldo, media tearing him apart. Do you stay away from his stuff? And I'd say that the market generally has stayed away from his stuff since his move. Do you agree?
Yeah, I 100%. I think since the move to Saudi, his stuff is you'll bring it up to show. I had a Ronaldo card that I'd bring up to shows, and people are like, "I'm not really interested in buying him," which is pretty shocking considering how legendary of a career he has. But a lot of the market has to do with what's going on in the media and the press, and I'd say for sure that people are not as interested with Ronaldo now. I think it's a little bit different considering his legendary status, and I think once he retires, that his stuff will go back up again. But Mbappe's got ways to go, and starting early on in your career, not like super early on, but like he's still pretty young, and starting this I want to go to another team type thing multiple times. Ronaldo was not like that at that point, so I think it's a little bit of a different situation. But you make a good point, Andrew. Like always, Andrew the GOAT.
Vinny says Teoscar Hernandez has signed with the Dodgers. I saw that it's like 1 year, 23 million or something like that from the Mariners. That's a interesting 1 year deal. Not sure if you have any thoughts on that, but hey, I don't know if I'm sure you're done with your who you buying. You had 3, or is there another?
I mean, I have one more, but we've talked about it a ton. It's just there's the Wander Franco green shimmer out of 99 BGS 95.
Might even be around here. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think that all of those can be considered who we buying.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm trying to think Wander Franco might be like buying these cards. I don't know because and there's stuff that I keep hearing. I'm like, okay, this is the worst of it, right? He's like, and then there's like the home raids and like, oh, geez, it's just an absolute. Oh,
This might be the funniest. Moving on really quick. This might be the funniest card I've seen. This is a triple jersey of Harden, Curry, and Chase Budinger, who played in the Wolves for a little bit, and they got Steph Curry to sign this thing on card in person, like literally like 1.5 inches big. When you zoom it out, you can barely even tell it's signed. It's just so funny.
Yeah, that's really weird.
It's like right over the top of himself.
Yeah, but you know what would be even funnier is if Chase was the middle guy and he was the only one who signed. That would be unfortunate.
That would be funny too, but look at this one. There is another one actually very similar, and he signs this above Johnny Flynn. He didn't sign it above his own head. He signed it above Johnny Flynn. That's pretty funny.
We got Vinny saying it's a mess with Franco. Start buying Carson Williams.
Yeah, I think he was the prospect for the Rays. You got Dave Portnoy here from 2014 Allen and Ginter. This is like the red out of 33 or something like that. His autographs sell for
Okay.
insane amounts out of that set.
Wait. Zoom in on that. That doesn't even really look like Dave Portnoy to me. I might
I
be
mean,
like
it
first
is nearly,
glance.
it is like 10 years ago, but like he's got a baseball hat on and long hair.
Okay, it's a little bit better than what I thought.
Yeah, it does look like him, but he's got some attachments on, if you will.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Dave,
to
no
load my
no
screen.
no offense, Dave, but go Huskies. I'm ready for them to smack Michigan.
Yeah, please beat Michigan. I'm down bad still after the Texas loss, but hey, I'll take Michigan losing any day of the week. Would love to see Penix have just as good of a game again. If he has a bad game, I'll be very disappointed because I was hoping for a bad game against Texas. And
Yeah,
because I don't want
you
Michigan to win.
on a separate note, you scroll past it real quick, but Daniel Jones is back in this auction.
Gosh. I want to know what happens with the Giants like over these next couple of years. Like how long they signed that massive contract. Like, what if he's just bad again next year? Like he wasn't good before he tore his ACL this year. And then he tore his ACL. Like, what if he's just bad again next year? Like, do they move on out for a $45 million contract? I mean, another crazy thing about the Packers this year that not a lot of people know is that Aaron Rodgers is like full contract value is still on their salary cap for this year. They have the least expensive active roster in the NFL of anyone because he takes like 50 million of the cap this year. So no one can even play with that money. But it's just an interesting random fact. Speaking of way off topic, Peg Jung had a comment way off topic. I hear that in March more golf cards will come out. I collect golf cards. That's cool. I mean, there's always cards for everyone. I collect done Disney cards now. But Peg Jung about golf, I think it's probably Upper Deck that makes those cards. I don't think that Topps has got a golf license. Let us know. What are you chasing? Who's your favorite golfer? Oh,
I
speaking
want
of
to
J
see me
Lo.
a Charlie Wood and Tiger Wood dual auto.
Oh, like the
Give
LeBron
me,
and Bronny coming out?
yeah.
Yeah, like father son action. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't follow golf close enough to understand. I mean, I know who that is, obviously, but I still don't follow close enough to get like totally all in on the card sets. Um, Man, this like feels like really cheap. I know he just got traded. I'm sure that a lot of his like initial value was like playing on the Knicks and having a pretty large collecting base, but RJ Barrett, Eminence gold patch autograph, really nice patch, number 5 rookie. It's always tough when a guy gets traded right away and like you don't know how much the demand is going to be there for his cards in different jersey and such like that. Oh, there's the Wander 270. We're not going to waste our time talking about Wander because there's someone else we should talk about instead. Caitlin Clark, dude, I don't know how much you followed this season so far for women's basketball. She's been insane again. Oh my,
Yeah, she's
dude.
legit. She actually when she played the Wisconsin, that was I think the only sold out game of the season so far, which
Yeah.
makes sense because everyone wants to see Caitlin Clark. But what was it? I think like 4 or 5 straight 35 plus point games. She's pulling up from the locker room and it's going in. She is the real deal.
Yeah, she had multiple triple doubles, I think 40-point game. Like her cards are popping, man. Like this was 150 raw before the season. This is gonna end around $400. It's crazy what's going on with her cards, but it makes sense. I mean, she is very, very good. She's the first men's or women's player in D1 basketball history to have 3,000 points, 750 assists, and 750 rebounds in a career. That's insane. Also, yes, I want to point out that there was just a return for a touchdown, either kick return or it was a punt return, I think actually. Bills just tied the game on a punt return for a touchdown. That guy hit the Jets. No one was even close to him. He got through the first level of coverage and he was just absolutely gone. Like, that's crazy. That's 14-14 now. It's going to be a good end of this game. That's insane. That's insane, Vinny. I'm excited to have some Sapphire Bowman draft get delivered here pretty soon. Have to get ripping into that in the next week or so, 2 weeks maybe, depending on when we get. Ooh, we don't cover a whole lot of hockey in the auction, but for those hockey fans out there who are likely other sports fans, probably why you're still listening to us, is Alex Ovechkin, 2014 OPC Platinum Gold Seismic number 50 PSA 10. This is the first year of OPC Platinum that was made, and it's a gold PSA 10. You know how much collectors love their golds, love their gem mint 10s, and love first year sets of something. This is like the perfect combination for a card. Um, you know, for hockey's purposes in this auction, I think. And if there are any hockey fans out there, that it just got in our bid. It's $11.50 right now, so quite the card. What's the nice soccer coming up? Are you asking about card sets? You talking about players? Let us know. And Dynasty is really the big new card set coming out. I say soon. It's probably, I don't even know when it's coming out, but it's not anytime in the next, let's just call it month, as I can say that for sure. But Topps Dynasty Soccer, first ever release of that product. Along with Topps from Disney, that product, man, I've been like wanting that product for so long, and I know you're excited about that product, and I'm excited. I know everyone in the soccer community is excited about Dynasty Soccer on the way. Man, that product is gonna be so sick. The R9 preview was insane.
Yeah, and I would say, funny enough, I actually was looking at what the releases are soon, but yeah, the top set you guys put up on Instagram, that was the Dynasty. One that's sneaky that I'm excited for outside of Dynasty is they have the under 21s Topps Chrome set coming out. I don't know when. I don't know if they've announced the official date, but that's got like they've got like the Bowman first. It's going to be a cheaper product. I just like the fact that it's kind of like the prospecting for baseball. And I'm really excited about that. I don't know when it's releasing. I don't know a ton about the product, but I think it's an interesting thing that Topps has decided to do, and I like it for sure.
Did you see it on a release calendar specifically, or did you see it as like a TBD?
I think it was a TBD.
Yeah, you're talking about the Bowman Chrome Road to UEFA Under 21 European Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been on the release calendar for I think at least like 8 months now. So we'll see when it hits, if it hits. But if it does hit, I agree. That'd be a fun one for soccer fans to get on like a cheaper value to start prospecting some of those guys, like what's happening with Bowman Chrome football now and basketball. Matt H, what's up, man? I hope you're doing well. I just won 2 different 1987 Mike Tysons, one of them autographed. That is pretty sweet find right there. I know you're into those older, maybe non-main sport cards, and that's a good one to get, obviously. And let us know anyone else that's winning cards too tonight. We'd love to hear from you if you're getting any snags. So want to bring up this guy tonight as we're talking. Oh, I gotta go look for some giveaways. That's right.
Yeah, can't forget about that.
Yeah, no, I almost forgot. Jalen Green. So okay, I was so hyped about the Packers earlier that I can humble myself a little bit. That the Bucks drop off when Dame has played bad is very bad right now. Dame needs to play better, like immediately, because Giannis is playing at MVP level every single night. 48 points last night. The guy is absolutely unbelievable. And then you've got Mr. Damian Lillard, who is playing like very not good. And the bench is very not good. Bench is terrible right now. Coaching is not doing well. So we have a lot to fix. But with that being said, the Rockets beat us, and Jalen Green had a nasty dunk. But if you, Julian, I don't know if you've looked at his stats this year. If you had a guess, like based on like how hyped he was and what his cards sell for, like how many points a game do you think Jalen Green averages?
Funny enough, I think I looked this up the other day because I was like, I feel like I haven't heard much about him, but I think he's averaging like 22 or something.
No, it's not. I thought it'd be over 20. It's 17. So he's averaging 17, which back in the day, averaging 17 points is a totally different story than averaging 17 in this day and age in the NBA. There's a lot of people averaging 17 and a lot of people averaging over 20. And I haven't watched him play enough. I haven't researched him enough. I mean, he shoots 35% from 3, which isn't like amazing. He shoots 40% from the floor. Seems like a pretty inefficient player. He is just 21 years old, so he's got time to figure it out. I'm not saying his career is done by any means. That would just be silly and foolish if I said that. But I think his cards probably have adjusted quite a bit. I'd have to go do some actual looking, but like a flawless on-card rookie autograph from NBA Flawless for $290 on a bid right now. You know how NBA cards sell. Like that just is not a lot. And I think it's for a reason. Obviously the production's just not matching. Honestly, how good the Rockets are too. Do you know who's doing well? Sengun. Dude, that guy's a stud. That dude is doing super well. And his cards are selling very well. So Sengun was probably the guy to buy, honestly, on the Rockets. And I think some people were, I'm sure, and it's paid off massively.
Yeah, and Aaron, unfortunately, I have to flame you here for a sec.
Oh, no.
Roll the clip where Aaron was chirping me when I made the statement that the Bucks were going to get clapped by the Pacers and they were struggling. And
wait.
What? You guys got absolutely destroyed by the Pacers. I said.
That was our worst game of the year. 140 some points was absolutely ridiculous.
2 games in a row, not playing defense, thinking offense will automatically win you games.
Well, that
Aaron,
is true.
what do you have to say for yourself?
I just said everything. I already admitted all of the faults. Yeah, when the offense shrinks up, it's very bad sledding, and the offense has shrunk up since Christmas, bro. December we were on fire, but you're right. We were giving up like 120 a game still, but we were scoring 135. The moment we started now scoring 115 a game, we're losing games by 15 every time. You know, well, you actually lost by like 3, but should have been a 15-point loss to the Rockets, to be honest. So yeah, we got a lot to figure out, and Giannis called it out. That we do, and honestly, Giannis is amazing, and I really wish that we were doing better. But Julian, I'm surprised you haven't brought up your own card here tonight yet.
Nah, I mean,
He's flying low. Well,
get
Chavi,
another bid. Yeah, I have a nice Chavi selling here. Super sweet card. I was debating just keeping this and holding it, but some of the flawless stuff sells super well on PWCC. I love this card a ton. You can see the patch is nasty, game worn, SGC 10. Yeah, whoever gets this,
pop one, give yourself some props here.
pop one, SGC 10, which is very, very hard, obviously, with those thicker cards, like we both know. But yeah, I love this card. Hopefully goes to a good home. And yeah, let's see. I'm hoping maybe it gets a little bit more, but I'm happy with how it's done so far.
Great. And Cardax, sweet win, man. 56 tops vintage set. That's my favorite tops design, vintage design that there is. Hank Aaron, my favorite vintage card to collect. PSA 4. Excellent card, my man. Great buy. You got a little Deion Sanders PMG action at 5K right now. So there's still quite a bit of cards going. If anyone sees anything you like, feel free to keep on placing some bids as we are at 9:46 p.m. Central Time. Also known as, Julian, what time is it by you? Like 9:30 or something, or 10:15? 9:15?
9:16 a.m.
Yeah. Because there's it's so weird how there's a half-hour time difference.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I don't know if this is true or not, but what I've heard is that the only reason there's the 30 minutes, it's 11 and a half hours ahead, is because Northern India and Southern India couldn't decide on whether it was going to be 11 hours ahead or 12, so they just didn't have.
Hey, that's making a compromise, okay? That's an important part about a good relationship right there.
It's hilarious.
That is good. Kardak got 2019 career highlights, gold snakeskin Kobe out of 10. Nice. Good stuff. Man, talk about a guy whose prices have dropped. Dude, Trae Young, I don't know what it's gonna take for him to recover in the market, or even just you talk about, we're talking about guys are just getting hate. He puts up numbers, but people don't really care about his numbers. They just don't. And this flawless is at 1,300 right now, which is just, that's insanely low compared to how his flawless cards used to sell. It's crazy.
Without a doubt.
And Hawks, I mean, it sounds like that they want to trade DeJounte Murray already.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
It seems a little dysfunctional. Yeah, I did hear that. But yeah, it's another team where it's just I haven't heard a lot in the media, certainly from Trae Young. Yeah, it's just it's really, really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So let us know what your thoughts are on Trae Young, if you have any thoughts at all on him. I'm trying to get our giveaway right now, and I'm pretty excited about this one. It is a giveaway that I think that Jay would like, just saying. And I think you'd like it too. So I'm trying to win this, but flying low here to get this thing snagged up. Thoughts on the Cristiano card? Which Cristiano card are we talking here? Ronaldo? Is there a Ronaldo ending? One that I maybe scrolled past? Oh, there you go. I would be very hesitant to buy any of these. I remember, and this is just all stuff I remember seeing over the years. Fake Ronaldo stickers, BGS slabs, trim 9.5, just all this random stuff about Ronaldo sticker, BGS slabs. Again, just rumors I've heard online. I'm sure there's some solid standing and research out on it. But just for personal spending purposes, I would not spend a single dollar on this type of sticker, especially the BGS slab, with what I've heard. Plenty of other sweet Ronaldo cards you can get from 1325. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
So Peg Junghat says tips on scooping up vintage cards. Willie Mays as an example. Peg Jung, I think there's a couple things. I'm not by no means a vintage main collector guru by anything. This is just me personally, okay? And I can only speak from my personal experience and what I like. If you like something else, you like something else. Someone else's advice, go for it. For me, I want a nice looking design. I want a relatively centered card. The corners can be rounded for all I care. If the card is centered, I think it just looks better. And I want it to be earlier in their career to what I can afford. There's some Hank Aaron cards out there that just features him in a Brewers jersey, which you would think, oh, maybe Aaron will want those. No, I want the Milwaukee Braves one. It's still Milwaukee. It's Milwaukee Braves, but it's earlier in his career, like 56 tops, great. Obviously the rookie, great, but like even some of those other ones, 58, 59, 60, 61, whatever it is. Then I guess from there, it's just like, do you buy low grade, high grade? What's your budget level? But for me, it's often low grade and vintage, anything between like a 1 to a 5, depending on the card and the price, and the Bills are about to score a touchdown. I am having a difficult time winning this giveaway, but I will keep on trying because it's so sick. When will you guys cover baseball rookies and prospects? So cover prospector, I don't know if you mean here on Slapsack Sundays, if you mean like in a different podcast form on Instagram. We do cover them just kind of through all of our different content mediums, through newsletter, through here sometimes, through different prospect releases like Bowman Draft. We just had Cheat Sheet go out thanks to Don the Farm Vinny. So we kind of have it happen periodically depending on what's going on in the market and what's going on in the season. I'm sure we'll have more prospect coverage as the season approaches, a new top 100 list release or new products release like 2024 Bowman also. But we'll also try to sprinkle some stuff in as we can outside of that as we see cards in here too.
I'd like to say also, a few episodes ago, we had Vinny on down on the farm prospect.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear some stuff about prospecting, he shared some insights. I know we talked about Bowman Draft for a bit, but yeah, I would definitely check that episode out. I also want to look at Jay's comment real quick. Are we bidding against him on this Rose-breasted grosbeak? Right,
no,
sweet.
but
that's
do you remember that one?
Yes.
No, we're not. But I'm having some struggles winning this card that I thought I was going to win, but I'm trying still. We'll see if I get it done. Otherwise, I might have to go a different path here at the end. We'll see. Yeah, so as Peg Jung said, make sure a couple episodes ago we did have Vinny. I think it was maybe like 3 or 4 episodes ago. Well worth the listen for prospect information. We'll definitely have Vinny on in upcoming shows too as the season approaches for either 2024 Bowman release or just even prospect previews. No, I'm not bidding on that. Jay, I just saw it.
Very cool card though.
Yes, very cool, very cool. I really like this thing, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to win it. Worst case scenario, I dig into the vault because we still have some things we can give away from the vault. But if I get this for a reasonable sum of money, I think that I'd love to give it away to someone because it's dope. I'm going to talk it up and just completely disappoint people. That's probably what's going to come down.
Like that. That's what you were talking about?
You kidding me, Aaron?
It's okay. You've done pretty good with the selections. Like, what was last week? The Odell.
Yeah, and speaking of, I just saw that. Whoever won the Odell, if you email me and I missed it, sorry, please email me. Otherwise, I need to get that giveaway to you because I just saw it in the vault. But go ahead. I just cut you off. Sorry.
No, I was done. I was just saying you've done pretty solid with the giveaway. So hyping up your video a little bit. Well, there's the giveaway right there. Luminous. No.
Well, I know what I haven't done well on.
Guessing the giveaway.
Yes, correct. I can only do one thing well, okay? Yeah, so this is a PSA 10. Imagine how hard this card would be to get a 10 on, dude. Look at all the different die cuts on this.
Wait, that's a die cut?
That's a die cut, dude. That every little
I thought it was like just a design.
No,
oh
dude,
yeah. After that would be so hard to keep in good condition.
Yeah, that'd be really difficult. But even just the manufacturing process alone, I mean, that would be difficult by itself. We are at 9:54 Central Time. We are approaching the 10 o'clock window, which means that 1 minute closing windows will start. We have a PSA 10 from 1980 of Ozzie Smith. If this is anything like the Ricky Henderson, I gotta assume PSA 10s are super hard to get because the centering was so bad on this release. There's so many Ricky Hendersons from 1980 rookie cards that are off-centered. Possibly Jay. I'd assume maybe if that. I mean, there's so many die cuts on that card. There was a Patty the Batty tie dye.
Yeah, I saw that.
Julian,
Patty the Batty.
Your card is officially sold.
It did.
Yep, 900 total selling price. That's pretty good.
Pretty solid.
Pretty solid. All right, let's see here. We got 4 minutes left in this window, and then we hit the 1 minute windows, and got to get that giveaway, dude. This is okay. What?
I was just gonna say I might have to dip out here shortly, just because we got some plans. But I wanted to come by for the majority of the episode. But
how long until you got dip? So I know, so I can show you the giveaway.
Like a couple minutes probably.
Okay. Well, let me see if I can win it. Can you stay until 10 hits? 4 minutes from now.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, once that hits, then hopefully I get this giveaway. And also, this is going to be the one episode I picked the correct giveaway person. The one where he leaves a little early.
Yeah, right. Do you want them to start? Or you're saying wait and then you'll show the giveaway?
Well, actually, we might as well do the giveaway right now and then run the giveaway. I'm hoping I get it here. Here's the deal. If I win it in this window, we'll give it away. If I don't, we won't, because I won't win it at all. And then we'll give away something else in the vault. So just stick around until we get this giveaway done. So make sure you enter this giveaway right now, because you got to get your entries in by 9:59 Central Time, so we can have Julian in the house for this, because I got to prove to him I picked the right giveaway winner. Otherwise, he wouldn't count it. So get your number ones in the chat to be potentially or to be eligible to win. Hopefully this giveaway I'm going for. Otherwise, there'll be something else out of our vault that we got.
Yeah, and I'm going to need to start I need to write a script and then read it out loud every time. But like, everybody, we apologize if Aaron chooses you as the giveaway, because it's not personal, but you can't win it if Aaron chooses you. That's going to be our new little disclaimer.
Mathematically, it has been impossible.
Yeah.
All right, two more minutes to enter. 2 more minutes to enter. All right, I'm 2.5 minutes away from locking this thing up. This is a really cool one. I love Zelda. This is the Adventure of Link right there. Super cool. Man, this Dolphins game and Bills game is close. Hey, Jay, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. I mean, it's always good to keep people on their toes, right? I've got a sticker similar to this.
That's pretty sweet.
I know those 1989 Nintendo stickers are really cool. Yeah, they're really cool sets, Jay. I really like the yellow stickers. Actually, they got some really cool different characters featured and poses and stuff. Dalton says, are you guys doing any shows soon? So I think from a setup standpoint, the Midwest Monster in June will likely be the next one that we do. As for visiting at card shows, for those out in the UK, maybe CardCon you could find us at. But possibly some Oak Creeks in the upcoming Oak Creek, Wisconsin, in the upcoming months, depending on what the schedule looks like. Yeah, Zelda for the win. One of my oldest running games. Real Music, I'm not sure if Burbank will happen. Oh no.
Oh no.
Did you see that?
That didn't sound good.
Did
What?
you see it? Oh, I almost just gave away the giveaway. I scrolled down one too far. I didn't realize it was on this page. Someone might have caught that.
That's okay. I think it was a little too quick.
I don't know. I think someone saw it. All right. The giveaway is about to close. Well, both the giveaway that. Oh, there we go. All right. I'm gonna get the names.
Did we secure it?
No, because it ends in 48 seconds. Just our the giveaway being open
right.
for entry. Yeah. Come on. I am very confident. I'm picking the right person this time. If I pick you,
how many times have you said that?
if I pick you, congratulations.
If Aaron picks it, he will shave his head live next
Oh,
episode.
that makes no sense. I'll try to pick her on. All right, come on. I'm watching it. I'm about to share.
There's no way.
Well, at least we're on delay here.
Oh,
Dude, I'm trying so. Dude, this thing's so sick.
Man,
Yes.
that is very nice.
I got it.
All
right, I would love this in my collection, but I'm gonna give it away instead because I think that someone else would like it here
for the people.
For the people, this is Spider-Man Milton Bradley comics card, SGC 3, a jumbo slab. It's super cool, everyone. This thing is super cool. So congrats if you got it on the giveaway. I'm about to get the random pulled up here. 1 second. Take me 1 more second. Okay. And here we go. Card is pretty big, I think. That slab is probably the size of a magazine, so the card's probably like a bigger than an index card. All right, here we go.
You can do some real damage with that card.
Yeah, for real. Good luck, everyone.
Apologies to whoever Aaron chooses.
2. It's McCracken. McCracken.
I'm going with It's Not What You Think.
All right.
Wah, wah, wah.
It's never happening. Eric D. Eric D with the big dub. Congratulations. info@slabstocks.com is where you email to claim your giveaway. You get this card. Huge fan of it. And we'll make sure we get transferred over to your vault. You just got to send us your identity key in the email, and we'll be all good to go. So congratulations, man. What a card. And Julian, thanks for hanging out too and making the time this morning in India.
Of course. Always. Yeah. Slabstocks Global. PWCC Slabstocks stream global.
All right, man. Well, we'll see you later, and thanks for checking in.
See you guys.
Bye. All right.